Whoa! Whoa! This is huge! The Islanders, take a look at this! Lou Lamoriello announced today that Lane Lambert has been relieved of his coaching duties. Lane is out, everybody! This is what Islanders fans have been clamoring for the past few weeks, months, even going into the middle part of this season. Patrick Roy has been named new head coach of the New York Islanders. Oh my goodness. Talk about a change in style, for better or for worse. Till death do us part, baby. We have ourselves a brand new opportunity in the Islanders, and this is going to be so unique. So different than what everybody is used to seeing with this squad. Now, before we dive into Patrick Roy and his entire profile as a coach, we gotta talk about Lane Lambert a little bit. This Islanders team, from the way they have been built, ever since the Barry Trotz days, everybody talks about, defensive-minded hockey. Everybody says, yeah, they play a shutdown game, and it's boded them well. Admittedly, like the past few years worth of Islanders seasons, you talk about the results they've had on paper, 2 straight, third round losses to the Tampa Bay Lightning. If we go over here to New York Islanders seasons here, we can see it all laid out on the table here. But year by year, the Barry Trotz era, the recent additions of the Islanders, you've got 2 rounds in 2019, 3 rounds in 2020, 3 rounds again in 2021. This is a team that has exhibited a good amount of success the past few years. But after Barry Trotz yeeted over to Nashville and you had Lane Lambert coming in to be the main guy, the Islanders started to slow down a little bit. And this season especially, it's been really bad in regards to where this team has gone with their overall record. I mean, the Islanders right now, if you take a look at the wildcard race in the Eastern Conference, they are just on the outside looking in, 49 points in 45 games played. But some of the way these losses are going, I mean, the fact is, the Isles have 11 overtime losses right now. I think there was a stat earlier that said that they were on pace to getting the record for overtime losses in a season. They just cannot close out games, and their overall ability to score goals has kind of dried up this season. They're one of the lower scoring teams in the National Hockey League. They're in the bottom half, and it's just been a really tough time for the Islanders to generate offense and to consistently string together results. Lane Lambert and the firing of him, it's been on the horizon for a while. So seeing the Islanders finally go through with it, this is something that many Isles fans are going to be super happy with. But the replacement in Patrick Roy is a completely different direction. Patrick Roy, if we go over to his overall record as an NHL coach, of course we know that he was one of the best goaltenders of all time, but he spent 3 seasons as the head coach of the Colorado Avalanche. He was great in his first year, took what was a bad and meddling Avalanche team to the first round where they lost. I believe this was the series where what was it? It was a Game 7 comeback where where the Wild just kept on tying up the game and eventually won like 6-5 in overtime. Is that it? Let's go out there and see this. The 2013-14 season. Yeah, this was the top pick year for Nathan MacKinnon, by the way, so good on him. But if we take a look at that playoff race, where was it? Yes, it was 5-4 in overtime. That's what it was. My bad. But seriously, this was the first season that Patrick Roy had as a member of the Avalanche's pro head coaching position, and it didn't really get any better from there. 2 years after, and the Avalanche were kind of bad. They were bad for a while, even after Patrick Roy left in 2016. So that definitely wasn't like the most memorable run, but at the same time, there were many highlights of Patrick Roy as a head coach where he would pull the goalie with 10 minutes to go, or he'd get into a kerfuffle and start arguing with the refs, or he'd start banging on the glass. He was really engaging, and the style of play that he forced his Avalanche squad to play is a complete divergence from what we have been seeing in terms of defensive style hockey, close games, just a lot more shutdown style out of Barry Trotz, and bleeding into the Lane Lambert days. Let's go out there and read some comments here on the R Hockey sub, because there are a few fans of other teams that share their insight that I thought was interesting. Patrick Roy is back. Isles fans, I cannot guarantee that you'll be successful, but I can guarantee it won't be boring. That's the thing, man. This is not going to be boring in the slightest. Patrick Roy is a head coach in the NHL again for a team on the island that is just on the outside looking into the playoff race, that needed a spark. They needed a jump. Next comment says, what the F? Sounds like a good fit, though. I'm stunned. This is what losing to the 23 Chicago Blackhawks does to a man. And yeah, that's exactly kind of it. I mean, the results on paper for the Islanders have not really been great, but let's scroll out there and read more here. The Islanders have become must-watch now. Old man Lou strikes again. I guess Waugh isn't going to be the next head coach of the Ottawa Senators. Yup. The fact that it came out of nowhere and wasn't leaked confirms that Lou Lamoriello still must be terrifying. And that honestly is a pretty good assessment as well. The fact that this came out of nowhere. We had no indication that Patrick Roy was going to go to the Islanders of all teams at all. Sure, you could say that the Lane Lambert firing was probably predictable, but it wasn't imminent. Like, we didn't hear anything about this. So Lou Lamoriello and his sealed vault door that's just not penetrable by anybody, yeah, that's still a thing. This guy's not going to let any of his news leak to the media, and that's made true with this Patrick Roy hiring. Let's also go over onto the Our Islanders subreddit, because I wanted to give some perspective as to how they're feeling about this Lane Lambert firing. The post says, "It's over! We won!" Patrick Roy previously coached the Avalanche for 3 seasons from 13-14 to 15-16, going 130, 92, and 24 in that time. He has been coaching the Quebec Remparts in the QMJHL ever since. Now, if you wanted to go out there and look at some of the numbers for his QMJHL days, I mean, Patrick Roy in the Q has been pretty alright recently. I mean, look at 22-23. They won the Memorial Cup, and they also won the QMJHL Championship. The Remparts went 53-12-3. And, I mean, look, I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty good. Last year, 51-15-2, they lost in the 3rd round to Shawinigan. This has been a very good run for Patrick Roy in his, his second stint as the head coach of the Remparts. He's been pretty good. 524 wins, 255 losses, and 66 overtime or shootout losses. He's been good in the Q. He was all right in the NHL. So now, heading into the Islanders system, this is going to be crazy to see. Waugh has already pulled the goalie for an extra attacker. Yep, that's kind of it, man. Now, here's an actual analysis to the situation. It's 2 to 4 months overdue, firing Lane Lambert. But gosh darn it, we finally did it. I love this hire specifically. We need to install a darn backbone behind the bench. We are so back. Yeah, a fierce competitor. Hopefully, Patrick Roy's passion catches on in the room. Lane Lambert is an assistant, no more, no less. And I guess we could go out there and end this video off with one more comment. Let's celebrate the good in this without piling on a guy having the worst day of his life. Not that Lane Lambert is reading Reddit of all people. He was a good person who just couldn't click with this team, or get this team to click with each other. That being said, Patrick Roy is a great choice. He'll have the players' immediate respect, which is needed because there's no time to waste. Now it's time to solve the team's real issue, the GM. If Lou wants to stay on as president, that's fine with me, but he can't be making day-to-day personnel decisions anymore. Now, we'll see where exactly the Islanders go with that in the Lou Lamoriello respect, but for now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Patrick Roy being the new head coach of the Isles. Lane is out, Roy is in. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this Vrishaj Rolls 99, and bye.